Blake and John Allen. Let's go.
And it's time for Miramar. Of course it is. We're towards the end of the day now. Match number 11, all the ones aboard. And we will be heading from Impala over to Valle de Mar. Teams needing now the points to stay out of that bottom zone. It is starting to get ever more looming as time draws inexorably onwards. And I, for one, can't wait to see who we're going to be seeing move into those top three. I'm less keen to see who we're going to be having to say goodbye to, though. That will, of course, be a sad occasion.
And this is also a sad occasion on this playing path. Very tough to work with. I feel like we had a lot of very southern playing paths recently. You hardly see too many playing paths over towards La Caballeria, Campo Militar, so mainly down towards Valle de Mar, Minas del Valle. It's just awkward. It's unfun to try and get out there. A lot of teams aren't dropping down towards Minas del Sur and Partona, but there is plenty of spots on the north side you could drop towards. We do have a shared drop spot here between Tiamba as well as I believe that's Pmgc in Puerto Paraíso, which is fair enough. You don't really have too many choices here. Chumacera looks like loops are quite close by, but APG getting to drop in their original position is always fine.
Circle goes up to the east side here, towards El Azahar, towards Truck Stop, Minas Generalis, that sort of area of the map. Sticks a little bit close to the east coast for probably several of our teams' liking. But for GS, that's good news. For Papra Supermassive, maybe in for a big one, but it's far too early to really call that. Can't really call the shot just yet. Trombi holding his corner actually spots Xerus from Team Secret, who's on a bit of a wide split from the rest of the team. But then again, so's Trombi. He's a bit far away from them too.
But again, it's fairly central. It's not too bad for them. I think they can get over towards Truck Stop, even South El Azahar, get a good game off the back of that. Team Secret needs to get a move on, but honestly, I think for Team Secret, it might be over. I think we can start to look at tendencies now as we head towards match 11 now. I think for Team Secret, there just has not been enough life in them. And starting to feel a little bit more clear to me this team is not going to make it through.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. You know, one of the major contenders for not getting into the top 11, which is where you need to at least continue in the tournament, even if you're not qualifying directly to the grand finals. Team Secret convincingly short of the mark right now in 18 points, with a bubble for 11 sits at 49. 18 points over 11 matches, that's like 1.5 points average, maybe a little bit more than that. It's definitely not going to be enough for them to be jumping on in. They need a real big readjustment. Xerus readjusting, getting out of there, smell something's up. The rest of Papra Supermassive have rolled in, so he wants to try and turn tail as fast as possible. Stay alive as long as possible. Kamikaze, try to change that though. Maybe able to connect. Does tag one shot, but with the iron sights, it's a little bit tricky at that range.
It's still pretty successful QVZ on the iron sights. We're one of the more difficult weapons to aim as well with the iron sights. Never mind. Nico's able to find it.
All right, well, there we go. We did catch up with another one of our teams who has been struggling a little bit. Regiocio will be up for interview. 7 caught up with him just before this game. Don't worry, he is still playing. But Reject have had a tough time. Let's hear about their thoughts about the unfolding actions.
Welcome back to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by Reject by Regiocio. Max wants to know why you're so bad, but I'm not going to be asking that. What I really want to know is you're currently 24 points away from 11th place. What is the mentality moving forward?
今11位から24点も離れていますが、今の気持ちをお聞かせてください。
チームのローテーションがうまくいってないのは初めての感覚なのですごく難しい感じです。
As the first feeling, as the first situation that the team rotation is not going well. So, yeah, we're impressed by ours.
Okay, now moving forward, we usually see teams wait until the last day to just play crazy. Are you going to be starting to play crazy now because of how close you are to being sent home?
今からもうぶち上げていきますか。いきます。
自分たちでコントロールするのは難しいので、ちょっと運が良くなればいいなとは思います。
It's hard to control. Like, it's hard to control. So like we just hope to get a good luck. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm hoping it's not just going to be luck. I'm hoping it's also going to be you guys wanting that win, wanting to get the LMs, because we want to see you in the finals at this point. We want to see you in last chance. Thank you so much for your time. Arigato.
Arigato.
Back to you guys.
There we go. I mean, yeah, I could kind of smell the dejection a little bit coming off of Regiosio there. Hopefully he can pick up his spirits over the course of these games. But it's not looking good for them either. Similar story to Team Secret. It's just not been there.
I think it's quite clear that the rotations aren't great. Most of the times that they're pushing in, it's towards areas of the map that just aren't really all that valuable either to them. And they're worried about picking off pretty strong positions. I think times you've actually seen Reject being inside a powerful compound or a key part of the map towards Zone 2 or Zone 3 has been very rare. They're right now, it's sad to say, but they're currently playing like a team that's aiming for bottom 5, which isn't ideal, right? I know that Regiosio can play better than this. I know Sara can play better than this. Divine's had some of the best clutch moments in the past. He was a monster back on Sandhawk when that was in the rotation. So, yeah, this just isn't the way to do it.
No, it's definitely something needs to change. Some adjustment needs to be made. Figure out just what's going on. After having Sara have so much experience on the global stage with other teams, you'd have thought maybe he could bring some of that intel back, but just hasn't quite been there. Inner Circle, though, I feel like they've been impressive in some situations, but other times they act like a completely different team, right? You've got Falak, who is obviously an incredible player. He's brought so much to the table already and shown off so much, but other times you just see Inner Circle and it's just not there. It's a completely different team. They're susceptible to mistakes that you just don't expect at this level.
I think for Inner Circle, there's actually oh, goodness me. Okay. Goodbye, I suppose. There is a case to be made for Inner Circle where some of the fights they're getting into, they are getting caught off guard a little bit, where they're fighting one or two teams. I think that they are aggressively searching for position inside the lobby, and it's not been quite working out. Satan able to rebuff Snake, close the door in his face as well. Yeah, quick underneath, but isolated.
Satan on the top floor does go down to Rosemary now. It's all just quick. Blast the door off his hinges, but what have you unleashed? You opened a can of worms there. They're going to wriggle their way on over to you. Quick already taking the challenge, but Rosemary, no match for him. Not this time around. A nade in. That should bounce on. No. He just gets around the corner. Just enough cover there to stay alive for a little bit longer. Rosemary can res. Ooh, is this Alter Ego falling like dominoes? No. They'll keep themselves nice and tall, but oh my goodness me. I heard that chuckle from you, Blank, and I think I know why. That circle pop down to the southeast side. Ooh, it's sending chills.
Oh, no, I've got D plus in the lobby as well on the eastern side, getting ready to put their swimming goggles on. They head towards Eastern Island. I'm praying. I am praying. I'd love to see it right here, very early in the tournament. Better than the last game of the tournament, that is. But so far, it would be a very, very curious finish to the game. I would love to see an East Island finish. Good shot from Goat, who are continuing to pop off in terms of performance here. Really nicely done. I'm actually curious to know how many points on the day they've had, because it's a big step up from them. Like I said, with Gen G, IC chasing, yeah, there's not a massive possibility that APG drops out, but there is a possibility now. They've put up, I think the run out is 20 points today-ish. It's not a lot. It really isn't a lot. And if they do that again tomorrow, I think teams who are really hunting, like D+, IC, Alter Ego, Goat, they could push them out of the top 3 hypothetically.
Sorry, who were you asking how many points earned today? I've got the standings from yesterday evening up. Goat have managed a pretty hefty total blank. They started the day on 42, I believe, which is pretty massive of a jump, I think it's safe to say. You know, it's not often you see 52 points added to a tally, but you love to see it if you're a GOAT fan. Alter Ego, I think that fight with Gen G was made all the more interesting by the fact that Gen G are chasing Alter Ego on the tables as well. They're trying to establish that boundary, try and maybe find Inner Circle next. Perhaps that's what Alter Ego are looking for.
I think for Indonesia, they must be very proud of this team. The fact they're able to put up 92 points. Oh, see, I'm not massively interested in this fight just because of the way Team Secret's been playing. That sounds very harsh, but I would rather talk about Alter Ego here. But yeah, I think that Indonesian fans must be very proud of this team, and you should be even more so proud by the fact that they're on 92 points, and that's with a lot of mistakes made as well. I think to get 92 and fumble maybe 2 or 3 wins because of bad positioning, it's very impressive. It's very, very impressive.
They can only go up from 92, right? We were talking about where we expect that bubble to be, and if you just look at what happened in the gauntlet stages, the bubble was 141, right? If you just take that number and
come on.
Use that as a benchmark. We're not going out to the East Island blank. I know you wanted it. I know the analyst desk wanted it too, but no, that's just too much. It's not going to happen for us this time around. OG pretty dead center on this one. D+ though, in a solid spot to the north of Impala.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, it's a winning position where D+ is currently playing. I do like that spot as long as you can hold it. We've seen the in fact we saw Nepturo will remember this one, but it was a hella uncomfortable game where Team Spirit was playing this position and just completely gave up the ball. It actually ended up losing them a tournament. But for D+, I think they can comfortably hold this. It's a good spot. If this shifts down towards the south, they have a very good chance of the game. I think the awkward thing comes in around Impala, where when you're rotating, you sort of have to rotate round towards this small ridge side on the western edge, or you play coast, and coast isn't all that comfortable either for GOAT.
No, it's kind of nasty. I mean, with that high ground as well with D+. That's off it, that transversal. It's going to be pretty tricky. APG, they're on the road again, blank, but are they going to be able to get more than 13 points today? Only time will tell. They have to stop at a little ridge line. Out into the blue zone. Moving in from the west side, I mean, there is a compound on the west side of this circle that is open, but it's not, it's not super favorable. Perhaps they're wanting to get up and towards the north side and have more access for later rotations that they'll need. Move up towards loops, towards 9-7 as well.
A lot of teams probably want to be where Paparazzi Supermassive is right now. That area of the map, there's a lot of cover to be worked with. It's super choppy in terms of the terrain, but a lot of times that means you can sort of ladder your way through that area of the map and get a better position later on. Also isolate a lot of fights. I think the difficulty on Miramar in the open area down towards the south side is if you take a fight, it's likely someone else is going to have a say into it. Playing over towards this north side, you can isolate a fight with this sort of terrain, take it, and then move on to your next step afterwards.
Loops. Layering down onto the vehicle. It's Raptorboy actually to connect the final spray. I mean, 9-7 are just in this valley, and it's a real fish and barrel situation right now. Loops are just opening fire, and where'd you go if you're 9-7? There's really not much to do.
Yeah, I mean, 9Z, you just have to back it off. They have to go for that classic wide ramp. Coligo, who has been a tremendous boon for the team in terms of a player, is locked in. And Rafina has his number. Not likely to be living up too long. Next circle shift will be very interesting. Do we go north side or do we go south? If we go south, D+ is having a much better time. Sort of central here, moves off from the water. D+ still have a lot of this high ground to work with, though. They got up there nice and early. I think they're just going to play that one out to the end. I think that if you have that high ground, yes, they could try and move towards a more central spot, but I think it's more favorable to them right now just to gamble.
Try and pick out a winner into the lotto. 9Z moving in. The knock found, and yeah, it's just going to be one of them left. Playing behind whatever sort of cover you can find. Open ground on the west side here. You could see around those crop dusters. It's pretty barren in terms of that cover. Alter Ego looking to try and chase down. They're now 1 point behind Goat, who are still alive on the east side, but there's 14 teams and plenty of time for them to fall. We'll see just how far they're able to go. You were talking about that treachery of that coastline earlier, right? And now is really where Goat are going to start to feel that.
Because you're trying to cross over the top of it. D Plus has angles towards you. I think for D Plus as well, sending Chips out towards that eastern side is a big deal, considering Chips has showed himself to be really strong on the long range angles at the moment, very accurate with 3x. So Goat definitely needs to be worried about that. But not only that, you also have IC coming in from that north side, playing the same coastal area. That fight is likely going to be a bit of a cage match between Goat as well as Inner Circle going forward. GS, I think, playing in the Longhouse aren't going to have too much of a say in, but that will be the next step for both these squads if they want to continue. Now let's come back a little bit towards the bottom of the tables. This is OG's big chance, right? This is OG's big chance to get out from the bottom 5 in this position. They've been in this position a few times before, but I think this is their best attempt at it from this spot on the map. It's unfortunate I don't have a lot of confidence, but it would be nice to see something.
APG sort of caught in the middle. I mean, OG, Reject both trying to take APG's mojo from day one. It seems like someone's draining it. Maybe it's Goat. Seems like they are definitely on the up. But a 6th elim found for Alter Ego, and they're now up to neck and neck with Goat as APG struggles to take the fights with them. Top immediately backing off that fight as soon as he takes damage there. Loops have the high ground over it as well. I don't think all of the APG players are getting out this spot. With Papa Supermassive ahead of them, they are very much locked in here.
Alpha Gaming, again, it's a situation where they need to be really cautious on this sport. It's just not favorable terrain to play. Be really very careful of which fights you take and which fights you don't. Don't really know what Wolves' plan was there, to wrap around the front side, get ahead of Loops, and then take shots. I mean, it's a good shot from Igor, at least. Another nice nade over towards Neil Zada.
And we'll look to connect with the rest of it. The Bucky run down from Coops. A little bit risky there, as Rafinha is still up and an action could still extract a toll, but Coops is folding back on in. Taking shots out the way for Doran, and the Wolves keep themselves alive as 3. They have lost Baton, but they do a lot of damage to Loops. And that might actually allow APG to find a way out, to get through this seemingly insurmountable roadblock. They have to play over the head of Rafinha, though, and that is going to be a bit difficult against Wolves.
I don't think it's happening. I mean, Alter Ego's got some really good sidelines onto this. Also, I really like the Alter Ego's currently massively committing to their 2-2 splits. When I say that, I don't mean as in towards the late game, but it's the fact that they are being very cautious. When one peaks, it's only the one, and the other looks to refrag and or cover the angle so the other player can crawl away. So they're being very safe about it at this point in time. I do like the splits. Don't get me wrong. I do like the splits that Alter Ego is making, and they are very successful at times. But I also appreciate now they're being a little bit more careful with how and where they play them. And it's been very useful for them to soften up this northern side. I think you still need to be a little bit worried about Papa Supermassive position just off towards their eastern side, because that is going to be the big roadblock for them in the future.
It is going to be a real difficult hurdle to cross. Go actually clashing on the sidelines here, and we'll find the fight with Inner Circle. Again, another team closer to the boundary of 3rd place than most, but Goat and Alter Ego, well, Alter Ego already took down Gen G. Now it's Goat's turn to defend their podium. They've already dropped that smoke out as well, out wide, and it's unlikely that Inner Circle could go for this flush, given that they only have 1 player standing. He's on half HP, and I think this nades even potentially from GS going to be coming on in soon. Noki really can't stand up here.
Yeah, Inner Circle's performance is really taking a downward trend. today. It's still not bad at 77 points right now. Noki not able to pull out a clutch either, sadly. And GS slowly move on the point. I think that's a smart move from GS, and more confidence and courage we've seen from GS like all tournament, basically. Alter Ego, fair bit of damage over towards Rosemary.
Ooh, Snape and Rosemary both taking the shots over towards Kamikaze, and that's actually Papra Supermassive losing. Oh, they just lost one. Okay, it was APG that went down there, as well as actually the last player going down from Inner Circle. Goat did manage to get the res and the heal, but now Alter Ego will look at a move over towards Papra Supermassive without one of their players, without Kamikaze especially. This is go time. Alter Ego up to 9 elims. They want to add 4 more, but Krypton goes down for the first. Alva around the side can't get the refrag there. It's Snape who does it, and Alva now moving on in. 2 players swept aside from Papra Supermassive, and they've made their inroad. Krypton outside, look at that, on the oversight, still up on the hill.
Not anymore. Reject finds that Apollo with a long-winded run out off towards the western side, able to catch him. And that is an important off angle there for Alter Ego, now removed. So it is just the 3v2 now, but initial knock goes through from Snape. Really, really well done. Now looks to make his final stand and just rock straight up. What? And we'll find it. Nico with almost the 1v4 there. What an incredible push from him. A Hail Mary in the darkest hour.
A guiding light of Nico for Papra Supermassive. We've been talking a lot about Kamikaze, but there are 4 players on this roster. What a close down there. A 1v3 on the inside.
Just ridiculous maneuvers coming through from Papra Supermassive.
Incredible pick up there for Papra Supermassive to be able to point against Alter Ego as well. No pushover over team. They're feeling hot today. And it's just, I mean, that was absolutely incredible that he was able to get that push across, play chaos in the smoke, the shotgun shells just landing time and time again. Helped out a little bit by Apollo on that reject knock. And reject look for more against Tiamba as well. Reject, they do also have an opportunity here. You talked about OG before, but I think this is potentially also Reject's time to try and make the most of it. Unfortunately, though, they are getting cut out of the circle in the next.
Yeah, it's an outside angle. It's a tough approach as well for all the teams on the south side. I'm not too mad at D+ at all for holding this position. Nice nade. I'm not mad at all at D+ for holding this position. You have to gamble on that high ground if you hold it. Sadly, the circle doesn't come their way. So the best they can do is continue to use this high ground to clear out position around them, which is what they are currently doing, and then push off from there and swing out to where OG is currently playing at. OG remain quite silent, but again, for them, a chicken dinner means quite a lot to them. They also get gifted a loot crate. So now's the time.
Ooh, Apollo nearly finding Milo there. Repositions, wants a little bit better of an angle, but the bead is sent out his way as well. Shots upwards coming through from QZ, but where do you turn right now? Apollo is more of a threat than an actual shutdown presence. That's going to keep Tiamba penned in towards the fight. Nico, let's see what more he's got in the pocket. I mean, it's up to Igor to take him down. Can he find the challenge? Not successfully for the first. The shotgun is still there. Sprays it into the dirt behind Nico. Doesn't quite connect on that one. Just yet, there's the nade over the top, forces Igor out wide, and that's the shutdown he was looking for. Nico will go no further.
Yeah, it's a great answer. You hear the pin pull, you pull out the Molotov, you force the reposition. Really, really smartly played. OG taking shots from the sidelines now, getting a little bit more involved in these fights.
Reject have lost 3 of their players very, very quickly. OG, you're right, flexing out down towards these hilltops, towards this mountain. Next circle coming through as well. They're clearing out their flanks, and another team is fallen now. It's just Sarah on that side. OG can stay in their building, stay on their 2-2. There's not too much threat from their west side. They can keep this lineup going. Sarah goes down, and again, that's even safer for OG on this southwest edge. Can they keep this one rolling?
Yeah, this is the big moment for them, right? This is their big moment. They have a that they're right on the edge, and probably the next circle is going to come out. They have to hope for a western shift on this one if they want to stay alive. There's still wolves over towards that north side, GS as well, but D+ is laying in the hurt towards them.
Ooh, plenty of damage pouring out from the south, but D+ are going to have to move now, Blank. With the circle as it is, it's closing away from them, and they have to choose a target. Fabian will likely stay up here for as long as he can to try and open that path, to keep that scouting going their way. And that information flow, very, very important when you make these sorts of moves. Fabian takes a lot of damage and might actually just be fully isolated here. D+ are making the move now. Down the hill they go towards the last player of Falcons. Ralph not stepping up just yet. Has this pump action rather behind the vehicle burnout. And will stay quiet. D+ probably don't know about this. Fabian, I don't think he spotted this. Chips is completely unaware. Falcon could be a big entity in this fight. D+ in danger, and they don't even know it.
Did you see the burnout vehicle? Surely you check that. Seems a bit of an oversight here from D+, honestly. I do think the Falcons more than likely just going to sit this one out and not take shots because GS don't have angles on this. D+ can immediately turn. Maybe when this happens, though.
Ooh, those players down on the hillside look mighty tasty as points earnings potential for Falcons, but no, it's discipline. He's staying down, he's staying quiet. GS try and sally forth, but they get backed off. A D+ drag 2 points from them. One more player over the ridgeline, and GS might just be done and dusted. A nade up high, goes long, but he's forced forwards. I think they spotted that one. Chips looking to put that final nade in the cook. Oh, again, just a little bit too long.
See, this is a problem right now for OG. They need to start flexing. They need to start flexing now. Playing over towards this western side is just not going to cut the cookie for them.
That pickup, though, onto Fabian is huge for Ralph.
Pushing out.
GS, his final moments, actually was able to take down Fabian, and they're not going to go back up for him. They can't. They don't have the time. That sightline's gone, and Ralph, I mean, he's still unknown here, Blank.
Should be able to find this for Wolves. Fabian, he's done for. He knows he's done for. Just got the P90 as well, which is sort of unfortunate for him. That will go down. And here's Wolves looking to clean out the rest of the lobby. I think for OG right now, the only I can think that they're not flexing from this position is that they're just looking to pick up the stragglers, get a very low elim, get...
Oh, you gotta do it.
Pick up the chicken dinner.
Oh, surely he looks back out this way at some point. Oh, Ursel back behind the vehicle, looking for the laydown. Ralph is being so patient here. The question is it the right decision? And that's the nade from Doran. Oh my goodness me. Maybe placement's coming on through. As another player from D+ moves against Ralph. I mean, they don't know about him, but he's actually not that dangerous, it seems. Nolbu's still stepping up. There's a spray down onto Wolves. Nolbu's so low, and Wolves low as well. This is the time, surely, for Ralph to step up. He's going to go for the spray down, and he shuts out D+, looks for the points, and now the Falcons need to come up big. They're up into third place, but OG have spotted them, and this is the time for OG to make the most of it. They only have one player from Wolves alive. It's Coops to deal with. But they haven't got that many points, Blank. They've got 6 elims, sure, but a 7 elim chicken dinner, that's fairly low. A win's a win, though, and you will take it. It's Coops who managed to get the res. Dying out into the blue zone. They're denying here, Blank. They don't want any more points on the OG tally. Wolves deny, and OG will rise from the compound. A low elim game, but it's a win.
It is a win. They get a lot of circle look there. Stay towards one building, flex out towards the end diver. Like you say, it's a low elim game, but it is a chicken dinner. It is a chicken dinner. And like I said, this was their big chance to grab it. It was a strong position that they played for the longest of time. That should draw them out of the bottom 5, though. That's really all that matters, right?
I mean, that's the main game for them at the moment. You're right. Wolves, I mean, they took a solid fight. They took an interesting engagement. I do still question, though, if Ralph could have got more value by stepping up and taking some of those elims earlier on, right? He only had 2 for a long time. If you take 2 elims there, maybe, I think he profited, what, like 3 or 4 points?